Yeah, big week this week, rivalry week. Middle Tennessee coming in here. Ought to be a great game, great atmosphere. Two good football teams playing. We're excited to be at home again. Looking forward to that opportunity to play them. And also want to congratulate Mike White on an exceptional performance yesterday. Really proud of him and what he accomplished, and looking forward to some great things moving forward as well. And so congratulations to him. He made all of Hilltopper Nation proud yesterday. With that said, questions?
Coach, like you said, rivalry week this week. A lot of players back from, your teams in the past year, but also a lot of transfers in this year. I guess, what do they know about the rivalry, do you think? And, how important is this rivalry to Western?
I think, you kind of automatically adopt the rivalry with whatever team you decide to join. Everybody has a rival. There's enough people that are part of our program that know that's a big game. Our guys recognize the fact that Middle Tennessee is a good football team. It's going to take everything we got to go win that game. Coach Stockstill does a fantastic job of getting his guys ready to play, and they got a great staff there. So, it's just one of those games that you always look forward to every season. And, we got this winning streak going, and, the biggest thing for us is just taking it one game at a time and trying not to do anything but focus on Middle Tennessee and this rivalry and getting this win for our fans.
With the winning streak you just mentioned, obviously, as you say, you guys are always hungry, but how different is the mood and the atmosphere now versus 3 weeks ago before you guys had that winning streak?
Well, I don't think we ever changed, to be honest with you. There's a saying, winning solves all problems. It certainly makes you feel better. But our approach to the game each week has not changed, and our mentality of how we work has not changed. So really it's just the feeling part more than anything. It's you feel good that you're winning games. You feel good that you have momentum, but every week's a new week, and it's a show me world and what have you done for me lately world. And so we understand that, and so this is a big game for us this week. We need to do everything we can in preparation to make sure that we're ready to go get this win.
Reflecting on the Charlotte game, I guess being able to watch film over the weekend, I guess what were your takeaways from the game?
I really thought it was a complete team game. There's always things that you got to clean up, but you've heard me talk about that a lot. And I just thought we played exceptionally well together on all three phases. Defense created momentum early, offense scored early. I thought we had control of the game the whole time. That was really good to see. I'm really liking the fact that every week we're getting better. We're improving every single week. We still have a lot to improve on, so we need to take another step this week.
Aside from
Coach, speaking of the defense, every single week you guys have improved the last 3 weeks from holding your best point with the least points allowed. What changes have you been adjusting to the defense just to get better and better?
Yeah, just the things we had talked about before. I think Coach Crum and the defensive staff every week is putting guys in places to make plays. They're changing looks up. They're making it hard on the quarterback, to have to go out there and execute at a high level. I think our defensive front's doing a great job of getting after the quarterback and, putting pressure on him and moving him off his spot. And guys are playing with a lot of energy, a lot of motivation there. We're playing a lot of guys right now, which is good. So it saves some of your guys that you're leaning on. D'Angelo Malone, he doesn't have to play every snap. Juwan Jones doesn't have to play every snap. We're getting some other guys in there, and so that production level is staying the same, which is really good to see, and I think that adds to the momentum. So Coach Crum and the defense staff the past couple weeks have done a really good job, and this will be another big test this week. Middle Tennessee will have a great game plan for us. They do an exceptional job coaching, getting their guys ready, so we got to have another great week defensively for sure.
Coach, with Middle, obviously they bring back some guys from last year's team. They went to the portal as well last offseason. I guess what's the scouting report on those guys? What do they do well? How do you think you can, match up against them?
Well, I think they're a lot like us in that, they're a chip on your shoulder group. They play hard. You can see it in their play every single week. They're coached extremely well. I know they do a good job from an offensive standpoint. Their offensive line is a physical bunch. They do a good job with the quarterback. They got 2 athletic quarterbacks. One of them got injured last week. We'll see how that goes. But, the quarterback can run with it. He can throw it. They got good skill out there to go make big plays. Defensively, do a good job of getting the ball down. That's the one thing I've seen is when the ball pops, whether it's a completion or a run, they get the guy down. They limit those explosive plays. And so, they just do a lot of good things. They're playing hard-nosed, tough football. And, I'd like to think we're a scrappy team, and that's kind of how I view them as well. Just a tough, hard-nosed team that tries to do everything to go win games. And so I think you're going to see 2 comparable football teams out there that are trying like heck to go win games, and it should be a really good atmosphere to see a game.
How dangerous is Western Kentucky when they're at their, like you said, most complete, scrappiest level of play? Just how dangerous are you guys?
Well, I think anytime you can apply pressure to the opponent and play the mental game of, you always want to, on your opponent, make those guys think, man, at any point in time, they can explode. And it doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, special teams. That's really, every team's goal. And what it does mentally to an opponent, it kind of puts them on their heels. It makes them start to think. And I'd like to think, when we're hitting on all cylinders that we can create that, but they can too. They've shown that they can do those things as well extremely fast. So, at the end of the day, I really don't care about what happens other than we get the W and we come away with the win. And whether we dominate on defense or dominate on offense and, or we just, play just good solid football, just come away with the win. That's the number one goal.
Turnovers have been coming in bunches here the last couple of weeks. Is there anything different y'all been working on in practice to maybe force turnovers, or is it just guys making plays out there?
I think guys are just making plays. Again, Coach Crum has put guys in position in areas to make plays, and like I said before, we're making the quarterback have to think about what's about to happen. When the ball is snapped, you might think it's a certain coverage, but it totally changes on you on the snap. So really forces the quarterback to play at a high level, and so we've gotten a couple picks that way. We've been rallying to the ball and gang tackling in the run game, and balls come out a little bit. That's been good to see. So all the things that we've always worked on are now starting to come into play for us, and it's good to see because we're going to need to create those turnovers down the stretch.
Coach, kind of bouncing back to the rivalry aspect, I know you said you have a short memory, but it seems like a lot of these games, one possession game, a lot of overtime, 2 overtime games. Do you have a favorite 100 miles of tape memory?
No, I don't. I wish I could tell you. They've all been such good games, But yeah, that's usually what you want when you're playing a rivalry game is to have a good, tough game. And I enjoy the ones that you have the lead and you keep the lead and you have a nice, easy day. I don't think that'll be the case, but I think that in a rivalry game, that's what's usually going to get. Records are out the window. You've heard that statement before. It really doesn't matter. Usually get both teams' best game, and that's what you've seen when our 2 teams play each other.
You played a lot of night games early on in the year, and you're playing a lot of afternoon games right now. I guess, do you have a favorite time that you like to play at? Do you like to play at night, or do you like to play in the afternoon?
I like playing during the day, especially at home. And if you can win the game, you get to go home, fire up the grill, watch some other teams play, and then you feel so good about yourself. You get to talk bad about some other team on TV, how they can't move the ball or how they can't stop anybody, and you think you're King Kong, But and then when you lose a game, you get to go home and you're sitting there depressed, and you look at the TV and go, well, how come these guys can do this so good and we can't, So, I like the day games because you get to go home at the evening time and spend time with the family and watch more of college football. The players, if you ask the question, they like the night games. They like the night environment under the lights, and and I don't blame them. I loved it as a player too. But as you get older, you won't get home. You won't get to sit on that couch and relax.
What's going on your grill?
It's everything. I love grilling wings. Any kind of meat, we can find. I'm a big steak guy. You know, we'll do some steaks, we'll do some pork chops. It's just whatever we got, it's going on the grill, that's for sure. There's usually a variety.
You have a smoker?
I don't. And I'm not a true griller. You know, I'm a gas grill guy, so that immediately tells you. You know, I don't have time for everything, so I'm usually throw it on the gas grill. But
Coach, I mean, you didn't have a lot of time. We only happened yesterday, but Mike White's performance. I mean, when he was at Western, I mean, Bailey's putting up some similar numbers now. You text Bailey at all? I was like, hey, this could be you one day.
I haven't. No, I haven't. I'm sure Bailey's fully aware of what happened, and again, just really proud of Mike. I mean, just you know, and that was Mike. Everybody, the whole world got to see what Mike was all about yesterday. That was probably the proudest thing for me. Is he's just such a great person, such a good team player. You know, even watching some of his interviews, you can just tell he's a really genuine guy that. I think there's going to be a lot of momentum behind him now too. You know, that's good to see. But man, what a performance! You go out there and throw for over 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. The best part was watching Mike catch the touchdown or 2-point. You know, and see that reaction. And so I'm looking for big things out of Mike moving forward. I don't think this is going to be the last time you see Mike White out there showing his stuff.
Injury and availability wise, I guess, how are you looking after Saturday?
We're looking healthy. Everybody's pretty good. Got a couple guys that have bumps and bruises, but I do expect those guys to be ready for game time.